Closer. As we spawn into Berlingrad for the first map of our first best of 5 qualifying round here. And in the top left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top left-hand corner, of course, we have our red Zerg player coming out from the land of Korea. He, of course, is going to be representing Kwangdong Freaks, the most fashionable player of all of StarCraft 2. He is Armani.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Berlingrad ALE, we have the South Korean Zerg player himself representing Alpha X. It is RagnaroK.
Bit of a old, well, I wouldn't really consider it to be a rivalry here, but yeah, I do recall a while back, a couple of months ago, in a lot of online events for one reason or another. We would have not a whole lot of Armani versus RagnaroK, although it did happen quite a bit. But we'd have online events where Armani and RagnaroK were both like the only Zerg players who signed up.
Yeah, there was like a Zerg drought going on, and you say months, I think that was like a year ago now.
Probably, yeah.
Look,
what is a year if not a bunch of months?
It's true, actually true. That's Yaku knows his years. But yeah, like I agree. Like they may not have like a rivalry, but they are kind of like very akin to each other when it comes to, you know, the middle of the pack in Zerg. When it comes to Zerg players in South Korea, you know, you got the top with Rogue, Dark, and Solar, and then just under them Armani, RagnaroK, and now Su, who's like climbing up the ranks. You know,
yeah, he used to be at the top, but now he has to work his way back.
Exactly. So we'll see how far they can go. What's pretty exciting is that one of these players is making it to HomeStory Cup. Like that's pretty insane.
True. Yeah. They're gonna be there with the sombrero.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
And speaking of sombrero, I don't know if you noticed, but Armani did get a faster gas than RagnaroK, so there was a slight difference in the build. And we see why he wanted all that gas, because he went for a fast Evo chamber, and with 150 gas, he goes straight for +1 carapace.
Interesting. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes out for the follow-up here for Armani, because just looking at it right now and seeing that he is going carapace first, the only thing in my mind is, who hurt you, Armani? Do you think you're gonna get Ling-baned by RagnaroK here, you know?
So, I believe this should be for roaches. I believe, we'll see, because, yeah, because +1, so Carapace is one of those interesting upgrades that affects both Ling-bane and roaches, both of their dynamics, so it's like a middle-of-the-road upgrade. It isn't amazing as or impactful as range or +1 melee, but with this, you can hit a timing with your roaches, and they can be that much more tankier.
Yeah, and that's especially something you want to be careful of if you're going into a roach versus Ling scenario. You know, even if you get your roaches surrounded, they can still get off a couple more shots and potentially live long enough to make it to the other side of the map. However, we can see that RagnaroK is thinking pretty similar to Armani right now. Well, similar in the sense that he wants to go for roaches. However, he is prioritizing his attack much more. Looking to be the aggressor here. I
think what's interesting is that both players are delayed their third bases. Armani is now going for that third. I don't know if I like this. He's making a massive wave of Lings right now. So looking to just come across with everything he has. It looks like, oh, he will be denied. RagnaroK will not get a scout off of this army. And it looks like we're seeing a Ling flood with maybe a follow-up Roach push here. As +1 range is on the way as well.
Huh. Yeah, eventually he's going to be transitioning out of this, but
it's a little Lings.
For the time being, he is pooling his forces together. He's been doing such a good job of denying the scouting information of RagnaroK, but RagnaroK will see it in the end. Doesn't matter, though, because we are on Berlingrad. Got his wall up.
Yeah, the wall is up. There is not enough energy for transfuse, so this one queen is going to go down. Can the Lings keep on going from here? We do have a second wall behind this.
Armani's definitely gonna try. I think he actually has enough Lings that he could try to take out a base or two. He's slipping on through. The roaches are not thick enough. That +1 carapace is really working out for Armani at the moment. He's getting a full surround on a lot of these roaches, and the ones that aren't are trying desperately to be Ravagers right now.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go. The Lings get into the main base. A couple of drones are going to be going down here. How many in total? The whole position micro is real. 2 drones go down. The Lings get cleaned up. Was this worth it? Well, again, Armani behind this. Roaches are on the way.
Yeah, I want to say it was worth it in the end here for Armani. He took out 2 queens, and he's going to be following this up with his own roaches, but he's going to have a lot less of them, however, if he does decide to push.
Yeah, it was a really weird dynamic again, because RagnaroK also delayed his own third base by quite a bit, so it's not like he had an amazing drone count to work off of. We are equal in workers for both players, and we have kind of different paths of getting here. Would you have 1-1 done for RagnaroK? He's working on +2 range, so he wants to keep on going and hit a +2 timing. Meanwhile, Armani is about to equalize and even things up with those upgrades.
Yeah, not for too much longer, however, as of course he did delay his lair. He's actually started to drone up quite a bit right now, so Armani's going to be pulling ahead economically, but when it comes to attack, obviously RagnaroK is far in the lead.
Yeah, so if the game goes on longer, like when it comes to Roach versus Roach, RagnaroK will have that big advantage, but he hasn't been droning up at all here. Like, this third base has only been used for larva, so Armani has a little bit of better income here. A little bit, just mainly minerals, because he hasn't taken any extra gases or anything like that. But this is going to be enough to help him get that, or it should be enough to help him regain that supply lead.
Yeah, and looking at the supplies, Armani is at a much lower army supply for now, but obviously in a situation like this, the question is always, does he have enough to defend, however? And I gotta tell you, Light, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced right now.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Again, so far we just have Armani going for a bit of a scout. He's going to confirm. Ooh, there's nothing here.
He just canceled his spine too.
Yeah, he just canceled. But right now he's making as many roaches as possible. He has now recognized, you are going 2 base all in, essentially. RagnaroK, his army supply is skyrocketing right now. Both of them are. Finally, the spines are being remade for Armani. Is 1 spine even going to be enough?
It may be, completely depending on the positioning right now. But Leningrad does have a lot of choke points to utilize right outside of the bases. So if Armani can pull ahead a little bit, take the initiative, and get his surrounds, and maybe it'll work out fine for him, and he'll be able to equalize the supply and the upgrades, and the tech as well. That's a pretty big if.
Yeah, exactly. The longer this game goes on, the better it is going to be for Armani. He is already catching up. He's still behind 20 supply, but will that even matter here? Because the choke point, I mean, RagnaroK can't really make use of his full supply lead here.
Yeah, not all of his roaches are going to be attacking at the same time compared to Armani, who's going to have a pretty good concave going into this. Goes out a couple of biles, and he forces RagnaroK to regroup. This is exactly where Armani wants to fight at the moment.
Exactly. Meanwhile, nice split so far. Biles are going to be connecting. 1 roach does go down, but the longer this game goes on, again, Armani, he is closing that gap. Spines aren't really taking place in this fight yet. Not yet. They need to be behind these roaches for the time being. They don't want to get biled down for free, and RagnaroK is really struggling to find a way in.
But not for too much longer, as he is just opening up as many avenues of attack as possible. Once again, RagnaroK needs this to work. He finally has a couple of drones by that third base location, but he is making nothing but roaches and overlords right now.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, it looks like he will find a way down this ramp, so now he can make full use of his army, but no, actually Armani comes in.
Yeah, I mean, RagnaroK had to sacrifice a couple of forces to be able to make that breakthrough, but he lost just a bit too much. Armani equalized the upgrades as well with his defender's advantage. He's reinforcing this much, much quicker than RagnaroK can. And even though at the end there, RagnaroK split up the army of Armani a little bit better, Armani still has way too much for RagnaroK to deal with. GG is called, and Armani will be taking game number 1 in this best of 5 qualifying match.
GG, well played. We were talking about it. The longer the game went on, the better it would be there for Armani. RagnaroK was on a timer, and his time ran out.
Just like so.
Yeah, that was a pretty sick game from Armani. Very unorthodox way to get into his upgrades and even things up. I was really worried that link flood at the start of the game wasn't going to do enough, but as you said, 2 queens, a couple of drones, it was enough to keep RagnaroK back.
Yeah, it struck the fear in him, if nothing else. And that was just about enough there for him to... Again, it was definitely very worrisome. He was leaving himself a little bit wide open there for a possibility of a counterattack. But here's RagnaroK's... here's what went a little wrong with RagnaroK. He wanted to ensure that he had the perfect timing and the perfect push out. But because of that, you know, he gave Armani a little bit of time to build up his defenses back at home. Was able to eventually gather enough forces to stall the momentum of RagnaroK, you know, to start with, and then even pull ahead later on when it came to going with the attacks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see if we do end up getting there. If we get a much more standard game out of someone like RagnaroK, we'll see. See what we get.
Yeah. Which I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't. But we are going to be continuing our series now on Hotwire LE, where of course in the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, we have our red Zerg player coming out from the land of Korea. He of course is going to be representing Kwangdong Freaks. It is Armani.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Hardwire LE, we have the South Korean Zerg player himself representing Alpha X. It is RagnaroK.
Alright, how are you gonna mystify this game, RagnaroK?
Exactly. I mean, to be fair, again, it was Armani who was being a little bit cheeky in the previous game with that hidden Evo chamber with the gas first build. So far, though, both players are going for hatch first instead. Pretty standard from both of our Korean Zergs.
Yeah. Hatch, gas, eventually pool. Just once I would like to see a ZvZ with no pool.
Do you want to see drone versus drone?
Yeah.
Aye.
But keep making drones, you know?
Oh, God. Really, you just want a spine rush? You want the boys being pulled? You want?
No, spine rush. You would still need to make a pool.
You would.
I just want both players to pull the drones and meet in the middle of the map.
Disgusting.
Drone drill in the middle of the map. There we go.
Oh God, I'm sure that's happened somewhere at some point. Whether it's probably not a professional game, but maybe somewhere on the ladder. I'm sure that's happening as we speak. Oh God! But so far, again, mirrored builds from both players. Nothing crazy. Hatch gas pool. Everything is looking standard. Again, much more interesting start to the first game. Here in game 2, everyone's just chilling out.
Yeah. It is Hotwire, so it's about what we expected, you know. Being aggressive early on, probably not gonna get too many positive results here for the aggressor.
Aye. And yeah, I get right now is kind of where we expect to see the divergent point here, as both players take their third bases at standard times. I mean, it is Hardwire, a much more standard map. We're not on Berlin Grab with that short rush distance, not anymore. So the real divergence comes here, whether or not one of our players decides to skip the Bailing Nest. Armani, at a regular time, does good for his, and RagnaroK, same.
Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna wait out for the next checkpoint, the next divergent checkpoint.
Yeah, who link flood to?
Which, yeah. Who gets +1 first? Who decides to go for Carapace, you know?
Who decides to deny the third base, if anyone? So far, everyone is just droning up. Everyone's being standard. We should be seeing some Bailings morphed in as soon as the Bailing Nest is done as well, just to be safe. No one has really shown any real signs of aggression yet.
Yeah, it's like we're looking at ZvZ chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but RagnaroK does have an Evo chamber on the way.
Yeah, his
That's
being...
that's Armani.
he does. Oh god, Ragnarok's that much faster there. There we go. +1 carapace on the way. A similar idea as the previous game, except of course this one is as a part of the wall. It's not being hidden. It isn't anywhere near as fast as Armani's.
Yeah, because of that, RagnaroK is still gonna have to chill at home a little bit, but it does mean that he'll have more of an initiative to be active on the map later down the line. Armani just droning. You can see a little bit of a discrepancy between their 2 worker counts.
Yeah. Again, just a pretty big one, actually. I think that's something important to take note of, is that
it's getting higher and higher.
Oh my god, Armani
RagnaroK
just
refuses to drone.
Yeah, he just, I mean, he refused to drone last game as well, if you don't remember. And there's a reason for that. RagnaroK is making a massive wave of Ling Bane to try and deny this 3rd base. This aggression is honestly a little bit delayed. Already one Baneling gets denied. Pretty good.
Of course, RagnaroK, or Armani, sorry, is getting Banelings of his own, but with +1 carapace, RagnaroK can still shrug off a couple of connections here. It will take 2 to deal the damage that it would normally take 1. No! Wow!
The Baneling finishes just in time, but it only connects to 3 links, so in the end, Armani still holds on pretty fine. He still has 2 Banelings here to defend. At the same time, we had a little bit of a counter. Bane run by 4 drones went down.
Once again, Armani just going to be pulling so far ahead when it comes to the drone count.
Oh.
Do have a Roach follow-up coming out for both of our players, but yeah, it's a little bit odd as to what the dynamic is going to look like here. Armani will have stronger offensive Roaches. RagnaroK will have better defensive Roaches.
Yeah, exactly. So, oh my god, we'll see. As it looks like 1 Baneling connection did miss there for Armani. Roaches are coming in. RagnaroK is all in, by the way. Armani, all he has to do is defend, and 3 spines are thrown down. It feels like these spines are a little bit late, though. I don't know if they're going to be ready in time. Armani banking a lot of minerals right now.
Well, these spines are very, very, very late at the moment, but at the very least, Armani can rely on his Banelings to zone out the Lings. What about the Roaches, though?
Ooh, exactly. Meanwhile, 1 spine does get focused down. The target fire on the Banelings is insane. RagnaroK will not let them up.
Neither will spines get let up. Everything is just about to go down right now. Banelings try to connect with drones, and they do get a couple. More importantly, though, they open a hole in that wall, and RagnaroK has so much momentum to continue reinforcing. Armani can definitely afford to lose a couple of drones, but he cannot get enough defenses up in time to halt this momentum. GG. RagnaroK ties up that series 1-1.
GG. Despite the fact that he did go for a little bit of a Bane run by, it looks like he didn't really take note of the drone count of RagnaroK there at that 3rd and recognize how low it was. So because of that, he thought it was going to go in a little bit longer. He was even droning up a little bit towards the end. Like,
he was. An unfortunate timing there. Some of those things where it's like, yes, I've taken out all the drones. And it's like, wait, I've taken out all the drones.
Yeah, it's sometimes not what you want to be seeing.
Yeah. But this is definitely something that I want to be seeing, Light. SMAP, I mean. Blackburn is what we're going to have a little bit of our tiebreaker on. Not the ace match. You know, it is a best of 5, so calm the hell down. I'm saying that to myself, mostly.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, Blackburn, not something we see too often, especially not too often in ZvZs, I find. In Korea, at least.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. Like, personally, I'm happy that we are tied up here. I'm happy that we're going to see a more back and forth series between these two. And as you said, I'm happy that we're on Blackburn. I love that the Koreans aren't afraid of this map. You know, not like some of the other regions. Like, what the hell, guys?
Yeah. Freaking, White Idra. I don't know why White Idra was the first play to come into my head. Look at you, Gerald. I don't know.
What are you saying?
Looking at you.
What are you trying to say right now?
I don't know.
What are you saying?
I'm just you say other regions. I'm like, I know players from other regions.
Yeah.
I don't know why the first player to come out for Ladam for me is White Hydra. And Geralt for you.
Damn it.
Caesar for OCE, it makes sense, you know?
Uh-huh.
But I don't know why Geralt and White Hydra were the first players I thought of in their races. Or their regions. But anyway, that's enough of that. We are now on here. Here being, of course, Blackburn LE. We're in the bottom right-hand corner map spawning. All the way in the bottom right-hand corner, we have our red Zerg player going for a 12 pool.
Let's go!
He is going to be representing the Guangdong Freaks. He is Armani.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Blackburn LE, we have the South Korean Zerg player himself representing Alpha X. It is RagnaroK. Oh, okay, let's go. Mate, the dichotomy of ZvZ in South Korea. We have the 12 pool against the gold base.
This is why I love Blackburn.
This is why I love Korean ZvZ, mate. None of this no rush 20 Reno versus Cyril snooze fest. Nah, mate, let's go. I think this may just be an easy win for Armani, by the way. I think
it's pretty much, it's basically a build order win at this point. There's no way RagnaroK can defend.
It's a hatch gas pool, but the hatchery is at the go base. So there's a couple of... Oh, he's even... Let's go!
Alright, so this is an automatic W for Armani.
Oh my god.
He's going around!
He's going around!
I'm so happy!
Oh, it's
Flip
amazing.
this and send it to Chase.
It's beautiful, mate. Chase, you need to learn how to play StarCraft again, and this is how you're gonna learn. This does get spotted by the second Overlord. This barely does get spotted, so now RagnaroK has to respond. He's gonna be throwing down whatever he can. Spine's gonna be throwing down as soon as the spawning pool is done. Meanwhile, Armani now sees, hold on, your base isn't here. It's at the gold. I don't give a damn. I'm here to end you.
I will kill your tech, and that gold base can come down later. Later on, drone drilling for RagnaroK is looking pretty good. He's evacuating everything he's got into the gold base. Armani does have to make a decision right now. You know, do I split up my forces or do I attack one at a time? If so, what do I attack? Well, he's going for the main. Ling reinforcements do get caught out.
Yeah, they do get caught out. Meanwhile, it looks like Armani is going to be going for this spine crawler. He does take control of the main base, but as you were saying, RagnaroK doesn't care about his main anymore. Not anymore. He has kind of... He's found a new home. This spawning pool and hatchery are going to go down, but I love it. He uproots. He's taking the spines with him.
Oh, dude. Spine crawls are so slow, however. So it is a possibility that RagnaroK actually finishes up his own spine crawls before Armani can get into position, but he is looking to surround them and try to take them out. The drone drilling once again looking fantastic for RagnaroK, but these Lings have a much faster attack. They have a much higher rate of fire and a much higher DPS. GG! RagnaroK actually defends and takes that and takes Blackburn. I thought it was an automatic win for Armani. Really, it was an automatic win for RagnaroK.
Oh,
what a big brain,
mate! That was beautiful, mate. That was absolutely beautiful. GG, well played. Oh my god, this is what I was kind of worried about because we had a gold base, like RagnaroK, he just evacuated, and I thought that Armani was gonna follow him and chase him down, but he didn't. He wasted a little bit of time in the main. He was a little bit uncertain. He was surrounding eggs, to be fair, and dealing with some spine crawlers, but he allowed RagnaroK to get out and throw down those spine crawlers, and wow, what a game.
What a game indeed. And now he's on match point.
Armani's laughing, by the way.
He is. Backwards Fs are being thrown down in the chat here.
Oh my god, we
need Fs and Korean Fs.
We need translations, Papi. We need translations. What are they saying?
Alright, where's my Google Translate app on my phone?
Oh, Armani is asking RagnaroK, what should I have done? He's asking him.
Ooh.
It's like, what the hell was I meant to do in that situation? I can't win.
Tell me, Mr. Big Brain.
RagnaroK, what does he say? When the drone comes... I don't know. But right now, I love this. They're actually discussing strategy right now on what to do in that situation.
Yeah. No tilted feelings come down here. Do I have Google Translate on my phone?
Yeah, Armani's saying that even if I follow the drones, I think I would have lost anyway because of the spine.
Maybe. Yes, maybe because the spine crawls were. I mean, yeah, we had the spine crawl in the main base, but I mean, he could have denied the spine crawls in the gold base. I think.
Yeah, I think the correct response. It's hard to say. I want to say the correct response is to chase the drones. But I think RagnaroK was mining from the gold anyway. Like he had a couple of drones coming out. It's so hard to call. Yeah. We need a rematch. we need to wind back the clock and do it again.
Yeah, we need chase to analyze. Alrighty then, we are carrying on from our spicy spine crawler rush against a gold match from Blackburn into a much more chill map here. It is going to be 2000 atmosphere. There in the top right hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the top right hand corner. We of course have our red Zerg player coming out from the land of Korea, representing Kwangdong Freaks. He is the most fashionable player in all of StarCraft 2. He is Armani.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres ALE, we have our South Korean Zerg player. Oh my god, I believe this is a 14 pool, could be a 12 pool. I wasn't quite looking at the time. Representing Alpha X, it is RagnaroK.
Yeah, it was a 14 pool coming out from RagnaroK here. Probably not going to be a spine rush in retaliation.
I mean, with a 14 pool, you do obviously get earlier lings, so you can move out across the map. He's not taking any gases, which is interesting. So this may just be feigned pressure here. We'll see if he makes more than just 6 lings.
Yeah, I mean, you probably hit a point of diminishing returns here if you build more than 6 without ling speed. So 6 lings is, yeah, he's just going with the standard 6. What's the term that was coined? Ling Team 6?
Yeah, the Ling Team 6 is going across the map. They will avoid this Overlord, so I love it. This has been hidden here, so Armani is just droning. Ideally, he doesn't make any lings because he's going to be greedy, because he's like, oh yeah, everything's normal. But now Armani is going to scout the timing of this hatchery. Now he knows it's a pull first. Doesn't know exactly what kind of pull first, but it is a pull first, and he's going to be preparing at home.
Yeah, at the very least, his guard is up. He's going to have to position his queens well enough. The Lynx can actually get a little bit of damage on here. Yeah, 2 drones.
Oh, God.
That's a pretty good pickup early on.
This is actually really good if he gets them. Meanwhile, it looks like he will get one of them. At the same time, almost gets a full surround on those 2 lings. Oh, my God. RagnaroK is on the prowl. He gets another ling.
Queen is about to be out. Another drone in a lot of peril. But quick enough drilling coming out here from Armani. 2 drones, I think. Wait. Okay, 1 drone. 1 drone, but 2 lings. Do go down here for Armani. Not bad damage, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, after all said and done, he also made a fast queen. So like me and Micah is going to be hunting down the Overlord of Armani. Going to be supply blocking him a little bit. And RagnaroK has the worker lead. But Armani's responding.
Yo, and he's going to be the one with ling speed this time.
I love it. Because of the 14 pool, the gas is just late. It is straight up late. Ling speed is going to be starting soon, but there's going to be a massive window here where Armani is going to have the advantage. There are 3 queens, though, and it looks like he wants to try and wall off.
Everything right now in the defense of RagnaroK is dependent on being able to hold this wall and not let a single ling through. He cannot afford to get surrounded. He can't even afford to get pseudo surrounded.
Exactly, we'll see here. The lings try and flood on in. We do have enough energy for 1 transfuse available. The high energy queen is a little bit exposed, but oh god, he's gonna try and re-wall.
And he is able to right in the end here. It's a much better position right now for RagnaroK to be in. A bit expensive of a wall, but well worth it to keep himself alive.
Yeah, exactly. We do see that transfuse. The ling flood is real. Looks like he can get through 1 of these queens. Can he get through both though? Up, he's trying.
Not quite yet. More queens coming down to continue to reinforce. Transfuses are the most valuable spell right now.
Yeah.
It's getting a little bit dicey for RagnaroK, but I think he's just about done it.
Yeah, he has done it. One even chamber does fall, but the Queen's re-wall barely in time. Armani's trying to bustle in, and he can get another Queen, but the Spine Crawler finishes. Another Transfuse!
Does get thrown out and keeps that Queen alive, and at this point, there are defensive Zerglings available for RagnaroK. There is that Spine Crawler that you were talking about. There are even Roaches. Armani just cannot break this position, but he can get a couple of drones. For all of his troubles.
He does get 2 drones behind this. Armani is droning up as well, but again, he doesn't have any tech. He doesn't have any Roach Warren. He's trying to get a 3rd base up. These Lings, their job here is to keep RagnaroK busy. But RagnaroK, I don't think this is even necessary, but he's going for a Spire.
Well, it is necessary because he's not planning to go for a 3rd base. Unlike Armani this game. Well, I guess it still isn't necessary. It's just a neat little thing you can do on 2 bases. He's taking both of his gases, or all of his gases, I should say. So he's on 4 gas. And he's finding plenty of Vespine at the moment, like.
Yes, he is banking up for that massive Muta switch. Meanwhile, Armani could be thinking similar here. He's taking 3 gases in total. Does have a Roach Warren on the way to fully wall off here on 2 bases. But if he so wishes, he does have an opportunity to take a 4th gas. But he just hasn't scattered yet. He just doesn't know what RagnaroK is up to.
Yeah, he's sneaking around, and I should be able to confirm a 3rd base coming up from him as well. But that doesn't do much to ease his worries. In fact, that makes it worse for him.
Yeah.
Way.
Oh god, I mean, Armani, he's doing whatever he can to try and poke and prod at this 3rd base. He's getting his own up and running. He's droning up quite well. We can see Armani has the worker lead right now, but he doesn't have a lot of anti-air. He has 2 Queens, and he's going for his own Spire.
But he is going to be at a deficit, or at a lower Mutalisk count pretty much perpetually for most of this game. Armani has droned up, however. He has caught back up and overtaken the mineral mining, but I have a feeling RagnaroK and his Mutalisk have something to say about that.
Yeah, we'll see, mate. We'll see. The Mutas do reveal themselves. They dive in and get a couple of transferring workers. Oh my god, they're actually going to get a decent amount of them here. But Armani can afford to lose some of these drones. Can't afford to lose much else, though. Uh-oh.
Which he is starting to lose a lot of, yeah.
Yeah.
Drones go down, and RagnaroK once again pulls ahead in the workers. He's continuing to mine as much as he can, transition out to his next phase attack. And Armani can afford a couple of Mutalisks once the Spire finishes up, but nowhere near enough to really contest the Muta cloud of RagnaroK.
Yeah, especially because RagnaroK is doubling down. He's going for +1 air attack. He's making as many Mutas as possible as well. I'm going to be able to maintain control here of of the map. Armani trying to go for a bit of a run by, but he just can't break through that Muta cloud. Going for his own Mutas, and what I will say is that Armani will have the advantage defensively with like Queens and Mutas and Spores, so he can defend on 3 bases, but that's why RagnaroK, he's just taking a 4th. You know, there's nothing stopping him from expanding.
Yeah, there's no way Armani can really apply pressure across the map. RagnaroK has all of the map control. You know, if Armani is able to deal with these Mutalisks, then he'll have a bit more of an opportunity here to turn the tables. But that's a massive if.
Yeah, it is. It is a massive if, mate. And oh my god, the Mutas come back in and they get even more drone kills. Like, again, Armani cannot afford to lose this. He needs to try and maybe even reposition his Spores. I was gonna say maybe even get more Spores, but he can't because, again, he's just struggling to even maintain the economy that he already has.
Yeah, and there may be an opportunity for him if he's, you know, able to force Armani into a bit, or force RagnaroK into a bit of a compromising position here with his 4 crawls and the Queens. He is sending his Mutalisks across the map, which I like a lot. Actually setting Lings across the map, not Mutalisks. My mistake.
Yeah, going for a bit of a Ling run by, but we have a Spine, we have defensive Lings as well. This is not going to be working out here for Armani. He doesn't find any damage, and I was a little bit afraid to look, but oh, actually we're even in Mutas right now.
Huh.
And
alright, so there's an opportunity for Armani.
This is the reason why, because RagnaroK is spending his gas elsewhere as well. He's spending his gas on his melee upgrades to help out his Lings. Because of that does cut into his meter production, but that may be worth it because these Lings are going to be incredibly upgraded.
They will be. How the carapace upgrades are going to have +1 in that regard. I'm just worried that I'm just worried about the possibility of these Lings dying before they can really, reach anything.
Oh, yeah, we'll see if that does end up happening. Meanwhile, the mutas of RagnaroK are trying to distract the mutas of Armani. The Lings do get in. They're going to be able to get the queens.
Just like so, while Armani's mutalists are so distracted. That was really the only threat that these Lings had for RagnaroK, and now that they're being distracted by the mutalists of RagnaroK, things are looking up so well for him. An entire mineral line goes down. We were saying that Armani actually has really good defenses, but so does RagnaroK, and he's the one able to utilize them, funnily enough.
The Ling run by just one RagnaroK the game. Look at that, 40 drones have gone down here. The Lings overwhelmed everything that Armani had. It looked like RagnaroK recognized he couldn't break him in the sky, so he broke him on the ground. GG gets called, and RagnaroK qualifies for HomeStory Cup.
The 7th player from Korea and the first player tonight that is going to be qualifying for HomeStory Cup. As a reminder, there are 4 qualifying matches and 4 slots available in this particular qualifier. RagnaroK has already taken one of them. Who will take one of the other 3? Yeah, I gotta be honest, it could be Armani once again. As we are in the as we do have a double elimination bracket, he is going to be waiting in sort of the elimination match, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, it looks like Armani gets knocked down, and he's going to be facing the winner of Ryung versus Gumiho. So there's going to be a spicy TvZ available for us there. Meanwhile, we also have Su versus Nightmare going on. Su did to Ryung. Oof. My heart goes down to Dongwon there, to the tuna boy.
I say that today. It's especially whatchamacallit. Ouch.
Yeah, bit of a feels bad, man. Bit of a feels bad. But this tells me that now we have to look for another series. Su vs Nightmare is currently going on, and it's being casted by Wardy and Rotterdam, I believe. So if you want to tune into that, PVZ, they got you covered. We get to choose between Ryung Gumiho or Keen and Rebellion.